Hello guys, welcome back. So in today's video we're going to do a Forex forecast for the week starting Monday 18th of August through Friday 22nd of August 2025. So like I always do, I like starting with the dollar index, and here we have on my screen is the dollar index. So here's what I'm expecting for this coming week, right? So previously, if you watched my previous video, I highlighted this part, this fair value gap. If you're watching my video for the very first time, here's the fair value gap. When we have three candles like this, 1, 2, 3, and then we have a gap between the first candle and the third candle. We highlight that and extend it to the right? So once we always want to see price respect that, but once we see price violating that, it turns to an inverted fair value gap. So I would like you to picture a fair value gap like a support, a classic support or resistance zones, right? Once price respect them, we call them fair value gap. Once we violate them, we expect price to come back and act on them as resistance, like we see here. So we saw price coming back into the same fair value gap, acting as resistance. So we call that inverted fair value gap. Yes, I'm putting this W here because it's a weekly time frame. Yes, and then when that happened, we created another fair value gap here. So we have candles 1, candles 2, candles 3, right? And here's the space between candles 1 and candles 3. We highlight that, extend that to the right, and then we saw that price came back, touched into this inverted fair value gap, closed inside this fair value gap, and traded back down. Now remember, the wicks do the damage. The wicks can actually trade outside the fair value gap, right? But the bodies should close within the fair value gap. That's what makes it valid. So we respected this fair value gap, and then we're trading down. And of course we have a target, right? I want to extend my chart to the left so we see our targets. And here on the weekly time frame, we have a little sell side here and another one below. So low hanging fruits first. So I would like to target this ultimately in the coming few weeks. And so this coming week, in essence, what I'm saying is that I would love to see price move to the downside until we sweep out this sell side liquidity on the dollar index, right? So once price opens this week, I would love to see price open, trade it up a little bit, and then start moving to the downside. But before attacking the sell side that we are seeing here, I would love to see price take out this little low here first. Yeah, this low hanging fruits before we ultimately come down to the side. So in essence, I am bearish for the dollar index this week. Daily time frame. So on our daily time frame, here is the fair value gap for the weekly time frame and the inverted fair value gap. Might not be so clear on the daily time frame, but even if we want to do this on the daily time frame, look at another fair value gap. We have candles 1, candles 2, candles 3. There is a fair value gap here, right? I would quickly hide this weekly annotations, right? Let me hide them from the daily. Remember, we're bearish on the weekly time frame. Okay, so on our daily time frame, we have candles 1, candles 2, candles 3. If I should highlight this, and we have this fair value gap on the daily time frame, you can see, I love coloring my charts, just forgive me. You can see that price respected this fair value gap perfectly before moving to the downside, right? The wicks do the damage, the wicks traded through, but the bodies respected it perfectly before moving to the downside. So ultimately, this week I would love to see price open, trade up a little, and then start coming back to take out the sell side. There's another fair value gap here. We saw price trading it into it with a wick. Worst case scenario, I would love to see price trade into here, but I don't want to see the bodies of the candles closing above this very candle. I'd love to zoom in so that you see clearly. There is a fair value gap here. I won't annotate that, but I would not love to see bodies of the candles closing above this very candle, right, which is the high of the fair value gap. Once that happens, I might need to look into the charts again to check out if my analysis are correct. But once it closes above it, then it's null and void. Euro USD. Let's talk about weekly time frame. All right, just a minute. Okay, so we're still loading. Okay, good. So Euro USD, this is the weekly time frame for the euro dollar. So a couple of weeks ago we talked about a volume imbalance, right, on euro dollar. On this side, the volume imbalance is when we have two candles that have gaps. The bodies do not overlap, but just the wicks. Sometimes the wicks overlap, sometimes the wicks do not. But in this case, you can see clearly that there's a problem with this candle body and this candle's body. There was a gap here between two candles. Remember, fair value gap is between three candles, a volume imbalance between two candles. So we extend that to the right, we saw price reacting from here to the downside, and then we broke above it here. Remember, once we have candles closing above a volume imbalance or a fair value gap, we use that same volume imbalance or fair value gap as classic support or resistance. So we came here, respected it, came here, respected it, right? And we closed above it eventually. You see price coming back down, respecting it perfectly before moving to the upside. The wicks do the damage, so we can expect the wicks to go through it, but the body stays inside the volume imbalance before moving to the upside. So this simply means that order flow is still bullish. Order flow is still bullish. Where are we targeting? This buy side. Extend that to the left, we have buy side here, and then eventually we have a fair value gap here. So once we go above this, I'm expecting price to trade into this fair value gap. Alright, so this coming week for the euro dollar, I would expect candle to open, move down a bit, and then ultimately go up to take out this buy side first before this, and then into the fair value gap we highlighted. Daily time frame for euro dollar. On Friday, I really do not like the way this candle opened without a wick before moving to the upside. So I'm bullish on the daily time frame. However, I would actually love to see price open, come down a bit before moving to the upside. We target here first, and ultimately here. Will all this happen within 1 week? I do not know, but this is the ultimate goal, this buy side on the weekly time frame. So let's talk about USDCAD. So couple of weeks ago we saw price forming this other block and then this little fair value gap here, and then we saw price moving to the downside and then coming up. But I actually love the idea that we have closed at the open of this weekly other block. So coming this week, since we've seen a close here, I would really love to see price moving to the downside, although it's still permissible to see price coming in, closing at the middle of the fair value gap for this coming week. That's possible, but I would love to see price moving downwards from this point on the weekly time frame. Alright, so daily time frame USDCAD. For a daily time frame, for me it's 50-50. I would love to see price open on Monday and then see what price will do, has in store for us before I'll engage in trading in this USDCAD. although on my weekly time frame I'm expecting downside movement, but it's still very possible for us to read this buy side before anything happens. So GBPUSD weekly time frame. So a couple of weeks ago we've been seeing price bullish. We have a fair value gap here, candles 1, candles 2, candles 3, fair value gap, sub price trading into it, moving to the upside. We have another fair value gap here, sub price traded into it, move to the upside, and ultimately I told you guys that I'm expecting this price move here. But no, we saw price coming back down, testing this fair value gap one more time, and then moving away from it to the upside. I still favor this buy side. I would zoom out for you to see the buy side I'm talking about, right here, and ultimately here. Well, we're looking at low hanging fruit, yes. So bullish on cable, which is pound dollar on the weekly time frame. So the daily time frame, just like EURUSD, I don't know, like the close of the open of this candle, so we might see price open coming back down first before moving to the upside, targeting this high and ultimately this high any coming weeks. So this is all we have for the week. If you need me to do analysis for any other pair, kindly send a message on the comment section you see on this video. That's one. And then if you like what you've seen so far, you love my teachings and it makes sense to you, I'd like you to leave a like, make a comment, and don't forget to subscribe, because I'll be coming with more videos time after time. So until next time, I wish you good luck and good trading.